Only come out at night.
Happy Valentine's Day, you guys. My name is Vivian and I'm so glad you tuned in to my channel. This is my Valentine's Day inspired makeup look, and if you like this look, go ahead and hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel so that you can see more awesome looks like this. Just to get started, I'm using my Master Prime Primer by Maybelline and I'm applying an even layer on my face. I really like how this eliminates the pores on my T-zone area. Okay. So now I'm just going in with a lash and brow comb and I'm brushing my eyebrows up so that the hairs are in place for the cream eyeliner that I'm using from E.L.F. This is in the shade Coffee. I always use this on my brows. I'm just going to outline my brows and then fill them in. I like starting out on the outer corner. That's where I'd like the most product to be and where I'd like it to be darker. And then I just use whatever's on the brush and I complete the front of the brows so there's less product. So I'm just going to repeat that step. Again, I'm going in and outlining the arch and most of the product is right there, and then I'm just going to feather the rest of the product that's in the brush towards the front of the brows and line them nice and evenly. And just like that, filling them in. You don't have to worry about the front of the brows. I usually don't. After I'm done with my brows though, I do go in with clear brow gel and just comb through them. So just to clean my brows up, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Warm Sand. And I'm using an Eco Tools concealer brush. And I'm just using this to really define the shape of my brows and get that going for the rest of the look. So on the front of the brows, I'm just going to square them off. It doesn't really make a difference because at the end you won't be able to tell the difference. Okay, and I'm just going to repeat that step on the other side. I'm going to underline the bottom half of the brow and then go towards the outside of the brow, the tail of the brow, and really clean that up. And this is a great concealer to use. You can tell this is like almost a perfect match, but my skin is two-toned. The inside of my face is light and the perimeter of my face is darker. So I can't use this as a solid color on my face as a foundation. But what I am going to do just to save myself some time is I'm going over my eyelids with that same concealer and I'm just going to blend it out with a beauty blender, and I'm also going to blend around the edges of my brows just so when I add my foundation there isn't a huge color block of two different concealers and foundation. So that's nice and even, and I'm going to go in with my AirSpun powder and my Cala brush and I'm just going to lightly dust that to set my brows. And now I've already gone in with my foundation. This is shade 338 in the Fit Me foundation. And I'm using my concealer again from LA Girl, the Pro Conceal, and this is Warm Sand. I'm applying that under my eyes, above my lip, across my nose, my forehead, and my chin. And I'm just going to take the same beauty blender and blend everything out nice and even. Just gotta pull my hair back a little bit so that I don't get any concealer on my hair. But I love this concealer. It's my favorite next to the yellow corrector from LA Girl. And it's only $2, so it's a total steal, but it's a great product. So I'm just making sure that I blend everything out nice and even. And when in doubt, keep blending. That's the best way to go. And hey, you can't knock a blended face, so Just gonna keep blending and making sure that there's a nice transition from highlight to foundation. And I'm going to just take the rest of that concealer in the center of my forehead, and I'm going to blend that out nice and even, but I'm also going to extend the highlight on my forehead. And if there's any extra, you can go back over the lids with that concealer. It's the same color, and I used a really thin layer prior to me applying this second layer, so you're fine. You don't have to worry about creasing all too much. So I'm blending out my forehead, getting that nice and even, nice and smooth, and I also have to blend out my chin highlight. I'm just going to go on the corner of my lips. They can be a little bit dark sometimes, so I'm just adding a little concealer there. Okay, now I'm going to take my AirSpun translucent powder, and I'm just pressing this in with the beauty blender, and I'm pressing it in also on my nose, all the places that I used the highlight on. And if there's any excess, what you can do is take a fluffy brush. I'm using my calibrash, and I'm going to sweep that away because I'm not trying to bake or anything. This is just to lock in that highlight so it doesn't move around if I use any other products on those areas. So as you can see, I'm setting my forehead in between my brows. It's okay if you get it in your eyebrows. You can always go back with clear brow gel, and that will bring life back to your brows so they're not dull. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that powder and dab it onto my eyelids. And I got a little bit too much powder on my nose and I sneezed, my bad. Now I'm gonna go in with my L'Oreal True Match foundation powder. This is in soft sable, and I'm setting the rest of my face, everything that wasn't set with the translucent powder. And I'm just going in and blending everything evenly. Okay. And now I'm going to go in with some contour. This is my favorite shade. This is the CoverGirl Natural Hue Bronzer in Ebony. I love using this on my cheekbones and the perimeter of my forehead. This is a great contour shade. I don't like my contour being cool toned because it looks too ashy on me. Okay, so just for a little bit of color on my cheeks, I'm using my raspberry blush from Black Radiance, and I'm applying this on the tops of my cheekbones and getting just a nice even layer. And then I'm going to go in with my Color Icon blush from WetNWild. This is in the shade Fantastic Plastic Pink, and I'm just going to brush that on my nose, my cheeks, and the perimeter of my forehead. Okay. Now I'm going in with my Beauty Treats bronzer palette, and I'm using this shade at the bottom to highlight my cheeks. I'm going to apply this from the top of my cheekbones, starting at the tail of my eyebrow and going down right to this the center of my cheek. I'm also going to draw a straight line across the top of my nose, and I'm also going to apply some of this above the arch of my eyebrows to get a pop of light on my forehead. I'm also going to take a little bit of that on the bridge of my nose. I have a bit of a hook nose, so adding a lighter highlight there brings it forward and it photographs well. So I'm also just going to take a little bit of the highlighter and apply that to the arches of my brows. And now for the eye look, I'm starting off with a little bit more of my Pro Conceal in Warm Sand, and I'm applying this to my eyelids, and I'm just going to blend that out with my finger. And I'm going to go in with my bronzer palette. The top shades are all matte, so I'm using this really light shade to set my eyes just so this red pigment that I've added to my eyelid really pops. And it's a really nice thin powder. It really covers well. So I'm just going to repeat that step on the other eye. Make sure that concealer is nice and blended out, and you want to keep your eyelid closed for this because you don't want it to crease before you get to set it. Okay, so I'm setting the other eye with the same powder from my Beauty Treats palette. Okay. Now I'm going in with my black Radiance blush and raspberry, and I'm applying this in a light circular motion on the outer part of my crease, and I'm gonna bring this in and I'm feathering it in towards the inner corner of my eye. And the brush that I'm using to do this is my E.L.F blending brush, and I'm just gonna repeat that step on the other eye. I start from the top of my my crease and above the crease. Especially if you have hooded eyes, you want to make sure that the color is above the crease so you can actually see it when you do really big eye looks and dramatic eye looks. Okay. So I'm just building that color and making sure everything is nice and even on both sides. And now I'm going in with my E.L.F blush and charcoal. This is a black eyeshadow, and I'm just applying this on the outer part of my crease and lightly feathering that in towards the center of my lid. And I'm keeping this right above my crease line. And this is how you can make your eyes look bigger. Make all of your colors, all your dark colors matte, but also above the crease to open the eyes a lot more with your dramatic eye looks. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit more of that charcoal color. Okay, and now I'm going to go back in with raspberry, and I'm bringing this on the outer corner of my eyelid. And this is the mobile lid. And I'm just bringing that color in, and now I'm taking my dual chromatic highlighter from NYX. This is a pink highlighter and I love it so much. I'm using my Kiko Milano pencil brush. This is the 06 brush, and I'm applying that color on the tear ducts of my eyes. And I'm also going to bring that color on the center of my lids. This is a halo eye shadow makeup look. So I'm just gonna build that color on the center of the lid. And I really love this brush. I will tell you guys about it in another video, but for right now, I'm just applying this amazing pink highlight to the center of my eyelids. And I'm just gonna repeat that step on the other eye. And just bringing that up, and I'm bringing this highlight, this color above the crease so that when my eyes are open, you can see that color as well as when my eyes are closed. Okay. And just gonna feather that out a little bit across the top. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in and use my raspberry blush, and I'm using the same pencil brush from Kiko Milano, and I'm applying this to my lower lash line, and I'm just connecting the lower lash line to the upper part of my eye look so everything is nice and cohesive and blends very well. And I'm just building up the color there on my lower lash line. I'm just going to take this charcoal, this is the black that I was using, and I'm going to apply this on the lower 3/4 of my waterline. I'm also going to bring that black into my crease. So I'm connecting it with the crease so you get a very rounded eye look. And this is to bring more depth into this eyeshadow look, you guys. Okay, just like that. And now I'm going to go back in with my blush from WetNWild, the Fanstastic Plastic Pink. And I'm just using this to feather around the edges of that very dark pink so everything blends nice and even and it looks even more blended. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to reverse curl my eyelashes. This is a great tip for when you're using eyelashes because flat flat lashes is easier to apply the lash because you can see where your waterline is. So I'm going to apply my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara just to protect my lashes from the glue that I'm going to use. So that's the Ardell glue in black. And I'm just applying this to my top lashes. Okay. These are the lashes that I'm using. They're amazing. They're from Wish. I applied them off the camera. And now I'm just going to apply some of my L'Oreal Fiber Lash Mascara to my bottom lashes to get more of a wispy, lengthy look at the bottom. Okay. And for the lips, this is my favorite color. It's the NYX Soft Buttercream Matte Lipstick in Prague. And there you go. So this is the complete look, you guys. I'm glad that you tuned in and watched this video. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! And happy Valentine's Day!